Tennessee's power ranking is in the top 10, Caleb. Tennessee is a top 10 team. I will say bank on it, brought to you by Commercial Bank, member FDIC, Life Made Better. I do believe Tennessee is a top 10 team. I think they'll probably be 11, 12, 13 in there, but I think at the end of the season, they'll make the college football playoff and be in the top 10.
So this is the future power ranking. This is basically, where does Tennessee's future rank among programs? Will they be a top 10 program not just next year, but over the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years as a whole conglomerate? And our man Adam Rittenberg over at ESPN has them ninth. He says Tennessee over the next 2 to 3 years will be the ninth best program in college football. I'm going to say, get ready for this, bank on it. That's too low.
Wow. Well, then you certainly believe that Josh Heupel's the answer then. If they average out to be better than a top 9 team, then they're making the college football playoff every year. We talked about the requirements to continue to be Tennessee's head coach, and that would meet both of our requirements unless they do something goofy with the automatic qualifiers, which I don't think that's going to happen.
No, but even if they did that, Tennessee would still get in. They will more times than not be a top 4 SEC team. I'm going to say this too. Bank on it. Tennessee will be a better program than at least 4 of the programs ahead of them on this list,
Right.
and maybe 5.
I'll say bank on it, brought to you by Commercial Bank. Tennessee over the next 3 years will be one of the top 3 programs in the SEC. And I'll tell you the 2 I've got ahead of them. Bank on it. Member FDIC, Life Made Better, Commercial Bank.
Commercial Bank is your neighborhood bank. What makes us different from other banks? We understand that every customer has unique opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. We don't expect you to fit into the same box as the next person or business. Whether it's purchasing a home, saving for your child's future, or planning for your next vacation, we're with you every step of the way to navigate life's big decisions. Commercial Bank. Life made better.
I think it's Georgia and Texas will be the 2 teams over the next 3 years that are better than Tennessee. I just can't get over the fact, we know why Georgia, right?
Yeah.
But I can't get over the fact that Steve Sarkisian is a similar type coach as Josh Heupel. He's going to have a strong offense. I think he's put his demons behind him. I think it's almost impossible not to recruit at a high level at the University of Texas. I think the University of Texas will be one of the top teams in the nation, and definitely the SEC. I think they'll be one of the top 10 teams or top teams in the nation, along with Ohio State, who proved that.
And I'm telling you, you are right that Tennessee will be third, but you are wrong on who you would have ahead of them, because Texas will not be ahead of them. I'm going to say this. Tennessee and Texas over the next 2 to 3 years, with Texas having Arch Manning, will be like Tennessee and Florida in the mid-90s, where Tennessee had Peyton Manning, but Florida had the better coaching overall. I don't think Steve Sarkisian's that bright. I'm just going to say it. I think he's one of the most overrated coaches in all of college football. I think he has drastically underachieved everywhere he's been. Everybody's in love with what Texas did last year to get to the playoff, but Texas played the easiest schedule you could possibly play in the SEC to get there. Greg Sankey rigged it for Texas for his ratings, and I firmly believe that. He purposely gave them the easiest schedule possible. And when they actually played a good team in Georgia, they got wrecked twice, including one time when Georgia had their backup quarterback in the game late. And so,
well, I think Georgia's significantly better than everybody else. So I'm not arguing that point. Now, where would you have? Who else did you have?
I got Georgia, and I think the biggest competition to be ahead of Tennessee is I've got Alabama. I think Alabama's coming back. I really think I don't think we're selling enough how much of a home run Alabama hit with the Kalen DeBoer hire. And I think the more I look into what he did last year, I think people are way too low on him as a coach. And I am really high on Alabama. Now, beyond the SEC, let me just name a couple of teams ahead of them, Dave, that I think Tennessee is going to be better than. I already said Texas is number 1 on this list. Texas should not be top 10. Steve Sarkisian will be fired after Arch Manning leaves for the NFL, because Steve Sarkisian won't win anything with Arch Manning, and they will be like, how did he not win anything with Arch Manning? That's going to happen. It'll be a former Peyton Manning thing all over again. And so
answered it in the right way.
Yes, in 98. But before 98, there were some questions, weren't there, of, if he can't win it with Peyton, he's never going to win it. Were those questions not there?
Oh, definitely. No question about it.
Yeah. So that's going to be Steve Sarkisian with Arch Manning. Book it. Okay. Ahead of Tennessee. Ohio State, I'm fine with him being ahead of Tennessee. Georgia, I'm fine with him being ahead of Tennessee. Oregon, I'm fine. Notre Dame is number 5. Tennessee will be better than Notre Dame over the next 3 years. I think last year was a fluke.
I agree with that. And I will tell you this too. Bevo's bodyguard, I agree with you. Don't rip the whole podcast. I'm gonna take exception to Oregon. If you're not better than Oregon, you've got a problem, because you should be able to recruit the very same prospects that the Ducks are recruiting on the West Coast, but at the same token, you're getting the big uglies, the 300-pound guys that can run 5.0 sub 40s. I mean, that
You still think there's a regional advantage to recruiting, don't you?
I definitely do.
I think the best players are in the South, but I don't think that means the Southern schools have the best chance to get them anymore. I think in the NIL age, Oregon can compete with anybody. And I mean, you're sitting here telling me that a 5-star big ugly from Georgia is going to be like, well, Oregon's offering me $900,000 and Georgia's offering me $400,000, but I want to stay in Georgia and I want to go play in Georgia for $500,000 less. That's what you're suggesting.
What just happened, Caleb?
The House settlement doesn't change NIL. It changes nothing. It changes nothing about NIL.
You're telling me there's not more money being spent at the University of Georgia than Oregon. Have you been to Oregon? You don't even see a sign for the Ducks. If you go anywhere around Georgia's campus, everybody's talking about Georgia.
Oregon is spending more NIL money than Georgia. That has been reported. That is clear. Yes, Oregon is spending more on talent than Georgia is. They are.
So what did Michael have to say?
Because Texas is winning the 2027 title based on my Manning logic. I get that's possible, but Steve Sarkisian still to me is overrated. If he wins a title, it's because, like you said, Dave, Texas is loaded up on talent. But I'm not saying Tennessee can't compete with Oregon. I'm saying Oregon is staying in that tier 1 in this age of football. They are. Oregon is now going to, put it this way, I bet you Oregon out recruits Ohio State over the next 4 years. I bet you Oregon has the best recruiting class in the Big Ten.
No chance. All right, everybody do me a favor.
Well,
take 1 second. I'll let you finish. Take 1 second and hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do so. We're just a couple of weeks away from SEC Media Days. You were saying, Caleb?
So a couple other teams that I don't think belong ahead of Tennessee. Penn State, number 6, shouldn't be ahead of Tennessee. Tennessee's going to be better than Penn State over the next 3 years.
Give me the top 8 that are in front of Tennessee.
Okay, so 1 is Texas. They don't deserve it. They're overrated because they have a dumb coach.
Disagree.
2 is Ohio State. They don't have a great coach, but they have a coach who's not so dumb that he can't win at Ohio State.
The national championship.
Yeah, exactly. 3 is Georgia. No debate. 4 is Oregon. I think Tennessee and Oregon are peers. I don't think one is above the other, though, so I'm okay with that one.
Okay.
I'm okay with.
Completely disagree. There we go.
5 is Notre Dame. Tennessee's better than Notre Dame. It's just happening. Tennessee's going to be better than Notre Dame. 6 is Penn State. Tennessee's better than Penn State. Here's my big one, though. 7 is Clemson. Clemson has no business in the top 10. They have no business in the top 15. They have no business in the top 20. I think Clemson is going to have a mini renaissance this year with Cade Klubnik. And then the bottom falls out the next year. Book this. 2026, Clemson misses a bowl game. They go 5-7. I'm going to say that right now, even in the ACC. Clemson goes 5-7 in 2026. And
that is absurd.
Yep, they're going 5-7. You heard it here first. And then number 8 ahead of Tennessee, and this is the debatable one, it's LSU. All signs suggest LSU should be ahead of Tennessee. But there's something about Brian Kelly that I have to start questioning now, isn't there? And I just can't put my finger on it, but Brian Kelly is not who I thought Brian Kelly was. And then so I think Tennessee is definitely top 6, and I think maybe top 4.
I don't think Tennessee ever has the in-state talent.
Covering recruiting at ESPN really messed you up, Dave.
I just don't.
You still think the science of recruiting is like 2011. And it's not. It's not 2011. It's not 2010. It's 2025. And you know what recruits more than anything? Cold hard cash.
Blind Squirrel Sports says, I believe Oregon can out-recruit Ohio State when Ducks commits start jumping into swimming pools. I agree with you.
Stop jumping into swimming pools. Oh. Well,
Not going to happen.
Oregon, by the way, did yes, Ohio State beat Oregon badly in the playoff last year, but Oregon did beat Ohio State in the regular season. And I do think Oregon, look, can you give me this? Oregon, if any coach can get the best thing possible out of Oregon, it's Dan Lanning. Is that not true?
I don't like Dan Lanning any more than probably a half dozen coaches.
Oh, I love Dan Lanning. I disagree. I'm a huge Dan Lanning fan. He's one of my favorite coaches. I think he's one of the best.